First of all, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in this world at this moment where we are just 31 days before the opening ceremony of the Games in Paris. And I can tell you from all the reports and from personal experience, Paris 2024 is ready and set. I was again in Paris over the weekend for different events, and you could feel, you could see, you could experience in all the talks, but also in all the events, how much the excitement is growing and how well prepared the organizing committee is. You can see it already when you arrive at the airport. You see the rings in the city. The decoration is around the games. You can see at the Place de la Concorde the stands coming up and the people walking around and looking at the stands and creating excitement just about empty stands at this location. And then most of all, you can see it at the Tour Eiffel with the Olympic rings coming up. Imagine what this means for France and all the visitors having their two most iconic, the two most iconic, I may say, monuments of French origin being combined in this way, the Eiffel Tower and then the Olympic rings as designed by Pierre de Coubertin, which are now one of the worldwide most renowned symbols, or if not the most renowned symbol in the world. There you can see the tourists around in crowds, hardly to be seen before, all in awe because of this look at the Eiffel Tower with the rings and the atmosphere created around this. It's all French society, getting behind the games. We were at the Sorbonne, this temple of science and education, and celebrating their Olympic Day and celebrating our founder, Pierre de Coubertin, with the students from many universities and from all across the world. You can see it in the streets in France. Already last Thursday, there were more than 3.2 million people lined up along the streets just to watch the Olympic flame passing. And the flame has not even approached Paris yet. So it's really amazing, and I must say also heartwarming to see how this expectation is building up. And this is the expectation for these games, not only of the French people. We can feel this expectation around the world. And this is also conveyed to us, by our media rights holders, by our top sponsors, by everybody. The people have high expectations in these games as a really unifying event in such a divisive world, because the people are fed up. And there are fed up around the world with all the hate, the aggression, the confrontation, all the bad news, the fake news they are facing day in, day out. they're not only in their hearts, you can also feel it in discussions, but it's coming from their hearts, that they are longing for something which brings us together again, which gives positive news, which gives real news, where you can see what is happen, in fact, which gives hope. And all this is leading to this big worldwide anticipation for these games. As you know, that these games will not only be sending this unifying message, they will also send beyond sport, the important message of gender parity, because the IOC, we have allocated 50% of all the quota places for male and for female athletes. They will be the first games fully aligned with the Olympic agenda, more urban. What you will see at Place de la Concorde and Le Bourget in Versailles, at the Tour Eiffel, they will be more sustainable with cutting the emissions by half. They will be more inclusive in every respect, but in particular with our IOC refugee Olympic team, and they will be more youthful with a new sports. They will be also more useful because they are involving millions of school children in France. So everything, I think, is the lights are green, and we can really look forward to enjoying the passion of the French people for sport. We can look forward to enjoying their hospitality, and we can look forward to a spectacular celebration of unity of our world in all our diversity at these Olympic Games Paris 2024.
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity. Thank you so much. Yes, I'm representing Hungary, the Nemzeti Sport media, and I just have the latest data actually from the weekend of the OQS organized in Budapest. And the numbers are quite impressive, Mr. President. We had over 60,000 visitors at the venue at the Ludovic campus over four days. Of course, there were no ticket sales, so it's always easier to get viewers and visitors when you pay free of charge. But even on Sunday, we had over 23,000 visitors, which makes it obvious that I think there is a real interest for these urban sports at least from the local viewers. But what I'm wondering about is what is your plan in the long run regarding these urban sports and their viewers, their fans? Could you be able to include them in the broadcasting viewership, to basically raise broadcasting viewership by them, or basically you're more counting on them as social media followers, which is, of course, just as important?
Well, thank you very much. First of all, congratulations, Budapest and Hungary, for this great success. We're indeed very, very happy with the outcome, and not only with the number of live spectators, but also with the atmosphere they have been creating around the events. And when walking through there and speaking with the athletes, you could only see glaring eyes, and this great combination of happiness and determination then to make it to the games. And we just received there this morning the latest report from the first of our colleagues coming home from Budapest, and again, very happy with the organization on site. But this success has not only been achieved in Budapest or in Hungary. We can also see from the first social media data that it was really very well received in the digital community. We can see it on our Olympic channel viewership, but we can also, even if the latest data have not been assembled yet, but the trend is already very clear also on social media. And a really outstanding response coming in particular, they're also from US and Japan. So let's wait for the final figures. But what I can say already now, it's a great success, and based on this success, we will then after Paris, have to consider their future format for this Olympic qualifier series, with a view then to Los Angeles, but understand that now, as we say here among our colleagues, we have now 3 priorities, and these 3 priorities are Paris, Paris, and Paris. And afterwards, then there is room for coming back to the great success of Budapest and Hungary.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for your questions. The President said we haven't yet got the figures in. The only one I can, well, as soon as we do, we can give them to you. We will do that. The only one I've got at the moment is just so you know that the Budapest series was broadcast, was on linear and digital TV in 128 territories. So already getting quite a good spread.
Mr. President, thank you so much for your time. I do appreciate it. Can I ask you about the water quality of the River Seine and how great of a concern that is for the IOC? The Paris Organising Committee CEO, Etienne Taubois, said in an interview with 9 last week that whilst he hoped that it wouldn't come to reducing the triathlon down to a duathlon, he couldn't totally rule it out. Are you confident that the triathlon will go ahead, has 3 events and not be a duathlon without swimming?
I can only report to you what I have been told there over the weekend, again, during my visit, that everybody involved in the cleaning of the Seine is very confident that it will work, and they were very happy that this was good weather over the weekend, because rain makes their job more difficult, so that the water levels would come down, and that then all the cleaning mechanisms would be affected at full force. So they have a great confidence.
Mr. Bach, I want to ask you about something. How relevant in terms of the challenge for the Olympic International Committee is the security of the whole Olympic Games, but I'm thinking even more on the opening ceremony. What about that? How relevant is for you all this insurance, the security, because you said of the hate, wars, all this stuff. So how relevant is get this insurance, and what are you going to do about that? Thank you so much.
Well, security is always priority number 1, for the Olympic Games, but not only for the Olympic Games. We are living in a world, unfortunately, where every big event which has, some attraction has security considerations to take. And this is what we are doing in the Olympic Games for a long time. At the latest, after Munich 72, and therefore our contact with the authorities is very close, because security, is in the sole competence of the government authorities of the host country. The IOC is not in a position to provide the necessary security, but the host government can do, and they are doing in France, and in very close cooperation with many international partners. So the intelligence services from many countries, they are working closely together. They are exchanging information. They are even providing some human resources then for the games. So there you can really see a great commitment, not only from the French authorities and the French intelligence services, but from the world to make these games safe and secure, because what I said before, that people and hundreds of millions around the globe, I could also speak of billions, are looking forward to this unifying event. The same is true, and I can tell you from talks with many political leaders around the world, who are also counting on these Olympic Games as sending this message of hope, this optimism, and this unifying message. So we have full confidence in the French authorities and all their international partners when it comes to safety and security at these Olympic Games, Paris 2024.
Mr. President, last year when we were talking in Sports Radio, we had a chance to discuss that you and I also had the unfortunate situation to experience what is it to be deprived from a participation in the Olympics because of the boycott. You suffered from that in 1980 in Moscow, myself in 1994 in Los Angeles. And from that perspective, of course, I had the feeling that for you personally, it was very important to find a way for those athletes from Russia or Belarus who were never supporting the aggression to be able to compete and to participate in neutral colors at the Olympics. Now it's coming along, and from the latest data, what I've heard, it was like 25 athletes or so. Of course, for them, it can be an opportunity of a lifetime that never comes back. So after all, are you satisfied with the number and the solution? What could you work out for these neutral athletes to participate in Paris?
No, thank you. I think, as I told you already during the conversation we shared there, that indeed this personal experience of having to boycott Olympic Games for political reasons is, if you want, is the main reason why I'm sitting here now. And this has always had a great influence on my thinking and acting, because I'm definitely of the opinion that you cannot punish an athlete for the acts of their government if they do not support it. And you can also not punish them for acts of their National Olympic Committee if they don't support it. And therefore, we have been following this solution of neutral athletes, but not for the first time. We had it before my presidency. And we had it during my presidency already in Rio, where in Sochi, even 2014 with India, We had it in 2016 with Kuwait even winning a gold medal with a neutral athlete. Since then, we had to have it with Russia for different reasons. Before for doping, and then for the manipulation of the doping system. And now, because the Russian Olympic Committee annexed these sports organizations on the territory of the Ukrainian NOC. This procedure is taking its course. The criteria have been established. They are known to everybody, and we have a review panel who is looking at the individual eligibility, and they have issued already the first names, I think last week. And I guess there will now be more to come, because with the weekend, I think 90% or so of the qualifications, are terminated. That now in the coming days, this will take up some speed.
Thank you.